Got called into a customer's Logic washing machine with a faulty drain pump. So we've essentially got a bucket underneath the machine. One thing you've got to look for is that the drain pipe is still connected to the sink. Because we moved that machine out, we don't know if that drain hose has come off or not. If it has and we pour water down that sink, water's just going to flood everywhere into the cupboard. This machine's been sat for about 2 weeks, so it's all stagnant water. It's not water that you want anywhere on your kitchen floor or in your cupboards. So obviously we've got to do our best to make sure we don't do that. You can see how full the machine is just with the water pressure that's coming out. That's only releasing the filter a little bit and it's already spraying all over. By this point I'm already covered in it. It's all on my jeans, all on my work trousers, all over the floor. So I just decided to ditch the pliers and use my hand because you obviously get more control. So that's our second bucket that we're tipping, and you can see just by colour of water, that's dirty, it's disgusting, it stinks. But what can you do? The customer that's called us in, it's one of those jobs that you just got to crack on with. So you can see that I'm obviously using my hand at this point. Decided to ditch the pliers, control the water pressure by adjusting the filter, so turn it anti-clockwise to release water. Don't turn it too much though, because you could actually release the filter and water would just spray everywhere. Normally you should have a couple of towels and a few extra buckets with you, but I'm a professional, I can do it with a bowl. One thing to check with the more expensive brands, Miele, LG, Samsung, you can't actually do this because water will just trickle down the back of the machine and flood everything. With the cheaper machines, Hotpoint, Indesit, Logic, Echo, we can do this trick, but you've always got to just make sure that water's not flooding down behind where you can't see, because if you are doing this it could be flooding the kitchen and you wouldn't even know. So again, just taking it slow, adjusting the water pressure with the filter. Main goal is just to empty this machine, get rid of the water, so then we've got no chance of flooding anything. So that's the fourth ball going down, nothing to indicate a blockage yet, no gunk, no hair clips. You've got to watch out as well, because if you do undo a filter and it's really blocked, you might not be able to get that filter back in. So like I say, it's always a good idea to have a couple of buckets with you and a few towels just in case you can't get it back in after you've loosened it off. But this one seems alright, it doesn't seem too blocked. So yeah, just taking it slow, bucket by bucket, ensuring that we obviously get it all emptied out of the way, and then we can do some fault finding, some diagnosis to see what's actually wrong with the machine. At this point we're just assuming it's blocked, but we don't know. That pump could be faulty, we could be not getting power down to it, it could be a board fault, but we don't know any of that yet, so we've just got to get the water out of there. So I think that's our fifth ball. Again, taking it slow, adjusting the water pressure. One thing to note about this is customer's lino is ridiculously soft. It's one of those that where you pull the machine out, it'll just rip to bits instantly. So you want to have a pair of sliders. Basically, stick them under the machine, tilt the machine forward, get them under the back feet, tilt the machine back, get them under the front feet, and then you can pull it out and not worry about ripping customer's lino. You can see I've actually got the filter out at this point. I make a little mistake here. This is why I should have had a couple of buckets with me. You can see I'm actually struggling to get the filter back in. It's taken a lot of effort to get there, and the bucket's filling up. So if this machine were more full and that bowl were full up to the top, I would have essentially just flooded the kitchen. But because I'm a professional, we managed to get it back in. And I think that's our fourth or fifth bucket. Little bit of gunk in there, but nothing to indicate a major blockage. This is probably the final time we need to remove filter. As you can see, pull it out, not a lot of water left, and there's our blockage. Just checking inside the pump, make sure there's nothing else in there. Put the filter back in so no water can leak out, and go and see what will block the machine up. So that's a chewed up £20 note, a quid and a 20p coin, along with some kind of hair grip. I don't wear hair grips, I'm not a girl, no matter what my mates might say. Obviously customer weren't very happy in finding that. It's just a little reminder to make sure you check your pockets before you put your clothes in the washing machine. That's something you need to check. There's a sump hose going from the tank to the pump. Get under there and squeeze it, see if there's anything left in there. I can feel something, so we're trying to push that down into the pump so obviously we can get it out of the machine. And there it is. A little bit of the door seal on the washer. So something's either gone through there or the drum's dropped, ragged that bit of door off. It's not a good thing to find in your pump, not something you'd want to find. So I think that's our 8th bowl in total. It just goes to show you how much water these machines can hold. You can imagine if this machine were flat and you opened that filter, guaranteed you're going to flood your kitchen. So we put the machine back down, put it on a drain only setting, start it up, and at this point we should be hearing some kind of noise from the pump, but we're not. Even if the pump were blocked, we'd still be hearing a humming noise, a grinding noise, the impeller trying to turn. This one's just not. So because there's no noise, we can either assume that the board's not sending 240 volts down, or the board is sending the power, but the pump just can't activate because it's faulty. Bit of mandatory cleaning just for the customer. Obviously there's dirty water all over the floor, there's dirty water all over me. Best to just do a little bit of clean up now, get it out of the way. She's already lost 20 quid, machine's already chewed that up, so she don't want to be dealing with a messy floor. So to test the pump, what we need to do, just go into the machine, 2 connectors going into it. We need to make sure that 240 volts of power are getting down to those connectors. So we need a multimeter, 2 probes, put it on our voltage setting for AC, stick the probes in the connectors. Obviously, while we're attaching these probes to the connectors, the machine's dead, there's no power running through it, there's no risk of electrocution. Turn the machine back on, run it on a drain setting, and we can see that 240 volts is getting to that pump. So we are confident that that pump's faulty, she'll need a new door seal as well. So the customer calling us out, she paid £50 for the repair. Parts are coming in about £80. We did have a pump on the van, but there's no point in fitting the pump if we've not got the door seal. So we'll quote that customer and return to do the fitting. When I get to that point, I'll record it, show you how to change the pump and the door seal.